going on, everyone, and welcome back to this week's episode of Outside the Arena, the first one of 2021. I'm Griffin Senek, joined by my co-host Matt Grommel, and we are super excited to bring you this episode of Outside the Arena. New year and kind of a new us. Like we said, hopefully you watched the video that we uploaded. I believe it came out yesterday, but basically we're now on audio, Spotify and Apple, as well as we got a second channel, OTA Clips, which we're really excited about, getting some shorter stuff on there. So today we're going to kind of have a typical episode. No NBA stuff we decided for today. We felt it was a bit of a quiet week. I mean, there's definitely some stuff to cover, but we wanted to focus more on the NFL since it is week 17. And yeah, that's going to be our focus today. So it's going to be a typical episode. We're going to build Mac's fantasy lineup. And we are going to give our week 17 predictions, as well as talk about some week 16 stuff, and maybe even get into some playoff talk about what we're going to do. But I know for next week, we'll 100% build our playoff brackets and share them. So stay tuned for that. But Mac, you ready to get the show on the road? Want to pull up your lineup?
I'm ready. Let's do this. Pulling it up right now. And I'm guessing, as always, starting off with the running backs. So anyone standing out at a first glance for you?
Geez, so Dalvin Cook is 43. But he's obviously out. But I'm just admiring how high that is. So I mean, we could go for like an Alexander Madison type player, but now that Dalvin's out, I mean, we can kind of get cheap running backs. $17. What's Mike Davis? I don't know who Mike Davis is playing. And for anyone on audio now, we know we got some audio. So if you're new to this or you just need a reminder, we got $200 to spend. We got a quarterback, 2 running backs, 3 wide receivers, tight end, flex, and defense. So that is what we are currently building. We're building Mac's lineup. So do we check Mike Davis, what he's going for?
Yep.
It is against the Saints. So, I mean, oh, he's doubtful.
But he's doubtful. So I guess that's a no-go. But who would be starting?
I mean, Curtis Samuel might get running back.
That could be, yeah. I just want to, let's see his 19. Okay. Not terrible.
So what do we want to, I mean, Kamara after
fighting for that number
6 touchdowns. That could be interesting.
Kamara could be a good option versus Carolina. A young defensive line.
Jonathan Taylor. I mean, I don't love that, to be honest. Derrick Henry, 42. It's a lot, but that would be nice.
Yep. Who's someone that's, I mean,
Eckler's 23? What's he doing?
I was just about to do that too. Eckler for 23. We had him last week, I think. Or the week before.
3 catches. He's been a little quiet recently.
Nothing explosive. But I was about to say Miles Sanders, definitely not against Washington.
Yeah, that's not what we're looking for.
I mean, Wayne Gallman versus Dallas for 19.
Has he been starting still?
Yep, he still has been. I know Alfred Morris has been getting a lot of carries, but
he's not been doing as good though. I'm not sure if I'm a Wayne guy this week.
Kind of cheap. Devin Singletary.
Maybe we go Madison for 17. I feel like that's a good cheap guy. Maybe that against Detroit.
Okay, he's
back at practice.
I'm assuming that's a yes.
Yeah, so let's throw him in there, and then they'll allow us to probably spend more for someone. So, I mean, we could go. Derrick Henry's so expensive for me.
Yeah.
And we could go Kamara against Carolina.
Yeah,
they could bet. They do need to clinch the 1 seed. They still are playing for something. So,
I think that's could be a good option.
Yeah, let's put Kamara in for now.
Okay. There are 2 running backs. Those listening to audio, Alexander Madison for $17, Alvin Kamara for $36. So we have an average salary of $21 per player from this point on. But honestly, we're going to go cheap for some positions so we could load up on others. But wide receiver now. Let's see. Anyone?
I mean, DK Metcalf for 29 is kind of interesting. I mean, Richard Sherman is back, but like he's not.
He's
What did
slow.
DK do last time against San Fran?
See, 34. I think you know what.
I think that will be.
Sherman slow. DK runs a 4-3-3. I think that's a pretty good matchup.
So we probably want to look a little cheap. I mean, we could do like we said and go for. I mean, I saw Allen Robinson. I don't know how much he is, but they're playing for something this week. They got to make the playoffs. It's against Green Bay, though. I don't love that actually.
Yeah,
he did drop like 20
here.
last time, but yeah,
I'm not sure how huge.
All right, let's look cheap, man.
Cheaper. Let's
see. CD Lamb.
CD Lamb, yeah, versus the Giants. I was about to say that too.
Curtis Samuel, like we said, could be interesting.
Yep. 19, that's really cheap.
Yeah, I mean, if he gets running back snaps.
He's gotten 7 last week, too, so he's starting to get more now. Does it say rush yards or no? No. But, yeah, that definitely increased. That could be a good option for 19.
Could be an interesting one, honestly.
And I feel he always has a potential to have a good game like the 18, 17, 20, 19.
What did you do last time against the Saints, out of curiosity? You dropped 14. That's not bad. It's not bad at all.
Yeah, I like that.
Yeah, let's put him in, honestly. I mean, there's a chance he gets running back looks. Could be interesting. Then for our final receiver.
Let's see. Gotta remember. So you want to stay away from some of these teams who aren't starting their quarterback.
Yeah.
Too.
Yeah, no Chiefs this week. No Chiefs.
Amari Cooper.
I mean, I guess we'll have Bradbury on him, but
yeah,
could be a good pick.
Gallup for 16. He had a good game versus them last. Well, he had a good game.
I was thinking of picking Gallup last week.
And then he started to come alive with Dalton at the end of that game when Dak got hurt. So
what did we place last week? We placed pretty high too, right?
Yeah, I think in top 5 at least.
Well, we're close. We've been knocking on the door these past few weeks.
Yeah, we just needed Henry to get a few more points, but 7 more points and we would have won that. 7 more points, I think that's what it was. But yeah, I feel like one of these Cowboys receivers do have the potential to do something. But
I mean, the Cowboys are playing 100%. Like they're trying. This is a must-win. So I kind of like the idea of looking at. I mean, do we go Gallup since he's the cheapest? What do we think?
Yeah, and then we could always come back, upgrade him if we have some more money left.
Yeah, let's put Gallup in. Let's just get defense probably out of the way, I'd say.
Yep. Cheap. Oh wow, they're actually we're ranking up. I wanted to check that real quick. I'm like, not a $10 anymore. Versus Indy.
Oof, the $10 are rough.
Texans versus heck no. Bengals, definitely a no. So I think we got to stay away from these 10s. The Jags, Indianapolis playing for a playoff spot.
Jets against New England isn't even like that. Oh, maybe we go Minnesota against Detroit. No Stafford.
Yes, I like that.
Yeah,
well, I think I like that one for 11. Plug that in. Let's get a quarterback out of the way.
Okay.
This is the weird part. This is the weird spot.
I mean, do we go like Mitch for 23? Mitch in a playoff meeting win game?
Mitch? Oh, I don't know why I couldn't see that. Dalton for 22 as well.
Yeah, I think we got to get someone cheap here, like cheaper. Darnold for 20.
Yeah, no one down there.
I'd go either Dalton or Mitch, I think.
Mitch is going against Green Bay.
It's in Chicago. What did Mitch do last time against Green Bay?
Green Bay. Did he play?
20. Mitch has been playing nice on the low.
20 versus Green Bay. But is he going to get 46 attempts again?
I mean, it's a must-win game for them. He honestly might get an extension if they win.
You know what? Let's show our boy Mitch some love. We gave Dalton the love last time. Let's switch it up.
So we got $49 for both
It could look
positions.
cheaper here.
Oh, do we throw Kittle in for 25?
Only 25, yeah. For Kittle, heck, yeah.
Okay,
Flex,
so then we have 24 for flex. That is really low.
that's like you got your.
That's like a
Allen
DeAndre Swift or an Allen Robinson, though. All right, we got players. We got solid players here, honestly.
Yeah, I like it. Let's see. Who is the best option? You still have Eckler.
Yeah. So after those guys, it kind of gets thin.
Yeah, so I think it's like the Ecklers.
Gaskin maybe
Keenan playing.
to miss season finale.
He's not expected to play. Mark Andrews.
I don't think we pick Mark Andrews here. I don't know. I think we go Swift, Robinson, maybe Zeke or Eckler.
Swift the past 2 weeks.
He's lost 2 fumbles the past 2 weeks. That's not good. That's not good.
He's getting some points, though. He's getting some points.
He is. He's been playing pretty well.
Wait, we did choose the Vikings defense, though.
Yeah, so that might not be.
What did Robinson do versus Green Bay?
He did really good. He dropped 23.
That's
I mean, do we stack Robinson and Mitch?
If Robinson has a good game, that means Mitch is having a good game. But if he has a bad game, then that means it's a hit or miss.
Yeah.
But
Robinson's consistent. Robinson is really consistent.
Yeah.
Like, look at those stats.
Only 1 below 10, 2, 3, and 4, 5. Only 5, 16 games or 15 games. But so 1 out of every 3 games he'll get below 10. That's it.
He's pretty solid. Yeah. I don't hate it. I mean, who else could we? I just don't trust Zeke enough to go Zeke.
Do we look at a cheaper option somewhere else?
I mean, who's above that? I feel like we're not gonna be able to get like a Derrick Henry, and I feel like those guys to me I'd rather have the guys that we're looking at than these guys, to be honest.
Yeah. Yeah, you have to gain like $5 minimum to even get to like this elite level of player.
And even then, I mean, I like what the tier we're at right now.
Agreed. So I'm thinking it's definitely got to be between Swift and Robinson.
Yeah, or I mean maybe Eckler, but I don't know. I like Robinson, honestly.
I agree. I think
that's the right move.
Fighting for the playoffs.
All right, so before we change it, let's read it off.
There we go.
Got Mitch at quarterback, Madison and Kamara as our running backs, DK, Samuel, and Michael Gallup for receiver, George Kittle at tight end, Allen Robinson at flex, and Minnesota D at the defense, obviously. $0 remaining. That's a good lineup, I think. That is a strong lineup. I really like that lineup.
Very strong.
All right, so
the top 5s have to come to an end. It has to come to an end, and it's got to be.
You said it is going on for the playoffs, right?
Yep, I think it goes through the divisional round or conference championship.
Okay, so that'll be interesting. That'll be interesting for sure. It will. All right, so we will get to talking about football itself. And week 16, kind of a crazy week in the NFL. We saw a lot happen. I mean, obviously, we already talked about a bunch of these games. Dolphins, Raiders, really, really good game there. So Raiders. Just, a few ones to touch on. Dolphins, Raiders, Browns, Jets, we'll talk about. Colts, Steelers, we'll talk about. Eagles, Cowboys, we'll talk about. And maybe Titans, Packers. But I think the others are really the important ones. So we will start with Dolphins, Raiders. Really good game. Saw some very questionable decisions from John Gruden. Obviously, having Josh Jacobs not score, that was bold. He slid at the one, and then obviously we saw what happened with Fitzmagic. So, Mac, I want to hear your thoughts on this one, your thoughts on the Dolphins' victory. And I mean, you probably don't have too much to say on the Raiders just because they're not really relevant right now, but maybe their strategy. I don't know. So, what were your thoughts on this game?
I mean, once again, this Miami Dolphins team, they find a way. They find a way no matter what it is. They'll somehow hit on all cylinders of or really any aspect of the team. And it really just came down to effort, good coaching, and not giving up at the end of the day. They were losing. We all know what happened. Got uh deep pass end of the drive and end of the game, end of the drive. Ended up kicking a field goal, winning this game. Great by the Miami Dolphins, and I think this is a team, as I've said before, I think they have a chance to make a run in the playoffs this year because of that. I mean, you have a team with effort. You're looking at the Cowboys right now. I mean, I hate bringing up my own team into this, but I mean, you play with effort, and it kind of seems like it doesn't really matter what kind of roster you have or how you've been playing. You kind of turn things around. That's what you're seeing from this Miami Dolphins team. That's very young. You got probably the best defensive player in the NFL right now, and Xavier Howard, and they're just rocking. They're playing great. Good effort by the Dolphins, and that's going to carry them into deep into the playoffs this year. Raiders, I mean, Gruden. I already know. I see your face, and I know exactly what you're going to talk about. So I'm not going to touch upon that. I'm going to wait for you. But I think this. I'm not really sure, but either way, Raiders fans be happy. You're not making the playoffs. You're just getting a better pick. So I mean, not much to say there. But Dolphins, good effort. That's what you want to see, and you're going to go far in the playoffs this year.
To be honest, I really watched this game, so I'm taking a peek at the defensive stats, and I see Mr. Van Ginkel, 2 sacks. He had 2 sacks. Two sacks. That's wild, bro. So Van Ginkel, did he win Defensive Player of the Week in the AFC on the low? I gotta check now. He could have been low key if he won that, bro. I'd be jealous. I don't think he did. No, it went to Mike Hilton. He had a good week, but so Ginkel played really well. The jersey hopefully will be on next week's episode. Hopefully will have it. I don't have it today, but next week's episode, hopefully Mr. Van Ginkel. But good game from him. And the Dolphins, it's really interesting because you see here Tua threw for 94 yards. I mean, I think the weapons is a clear issue in Miami right now. And that's something probably maybe the top issue they're going to have to address is the wide receiver room there. Because Devontae Parker's hurt right now. And outside of him, I mean, you really, really have like not much talent. I mean, look at some of these guys. I mean, the average NFL fan will not know who most of these guys are. I mean, I think you'll know who Gesicki is, maybe Jakeem Grant, and Gaskin, this year has played really well. But outside of that, I mean, these guys are all kind of nobodies on here. So they're using whoever they need to. Fitzmagic obviously just tested positive for COVID, actually. So it's going to be Tua Tagovailoa for this week and then the playoffs next week. Man. So, yeah, so they're not going to be able to have, as Brian Flores called it, the closer in Fitzmagic, which is really interesting. I mean, I can't remember seeing that where you have, your starter and then you got another guy on the bench who you kind of bring in crunch time. It's kind of weird, but Tua, the only thing I'll say is
could be too. Also, that could be a thing in the playoffs if they make it past the wild card game. If they don't have Fitzpatrick, I mean, you do that in the playoffs. I mean, that's going to keep teams guessing all game. That's going to help you win. I mean, even studying for the game for that opposing teams, that's going to be a lot of trouble for them.
Yeah, and the final thing I just want to say is on Tua, I'm going to actually, little debate here. Maybe this will go on OTA clips, and I think it will. So my question for you, Mac, is Tua Tagovailoa showing signs of being a bust, or is it too early to tell?
I think it's too early to tell. I mean, it's so hard, especially you're talking about the weapons. You said with Devontae Parker before he's out, and you're looking at these guys, and you said not the average fan may not know him. So you're thinking of it like that, and all these other rookie quarterbacks, you're looking like Justin Herbert. He had a Keenan Allen. He has Keenan Allen. You look at Joe Burrow before he was hurt. I mean, T. Higgins was starting to emerge. You always have A.J. Green. He may not be the best now, but he's still always there, a reliable target. Tua, however, he doesn't really have that. He really doesn't. I mean, Devontae Parker, he's not on the level of some of these other guys that these other quarterbacks have. Tua, I mean, he came in earlier in the season. He played well, but his stats, they're kind of low. They're just kind of conservative. It kind of feels like how Dak Prescott was playing in 2016. It may not have been the best, but he was putting up consistent numbers, good stats on paper, but and he was there to win some games. And that's what you want out of your quarterback. You want to win games, be conservative, just control the clock and be safe with the ball. And that's exactly what Tua does. And that's why I think he's not going to be a bust. There's no way this kid's going to be a bust. It may not look like he's putting up the great numbers now or numbers comparable to Ryan Fitzpatrick, but he's showing signs of what you want an early quarterback to do. He's not turning the ball over. And so he's going to develop with that, not turning the ball over, playing safe. His numbers are only going to get better. And he's going to be one of the best quarterbacks in the league within a few years. It's just going to be a developmental process for Tua. And I think that's all it's going to take. Learning from Ryan Fitzpatrick, I think that's going to be great. As you said, kind of bring him in as a closer. Tua's going to learn that. He's going to learn to be clutch. He's going to learn leadership, and he's going to be great. It's too early to tell right now, but I think all the signs are pointing in the right direction for Tua.
I'm going to say that Tua Tagovailoa is showing signs of being a bust, but for where he was drafted, he was picked 5th overall. With the 5th overall pick, second quarterback in the draft class, you have the expectations that you're going to be a superstar. You're going to be one of the top quarterbacks in the league, and the expectation is that you are going to perform. Let's look at Daniel Jones, for example. He's picked number 6, I believe. He hasn't performed. He's turned the ball over a lot. And, a lot of people, have said, they've been lenient on him, Giants fans, but everyone else has called him out and said, it's a problem. And, if he was picked a late first-round pick, people would be more allowing him to, have that time to develop. But in the case of Tua, you're the 5th overall pick. And to me right now, I'm just seeing signs of him being only a game manager. I understand, he doesn't have the weapons right quite yet, and he needs the weapons for me to truly say if he's, a bust or not. And I don't think he's necessarily a bust, but for the 5th overall pick, when you could have had Justin Herbert, right now I'm saying that it just wasn't, that he's not living up to expectations, I think is how I would phrase it right now. I don't think with the 5th overall pick, you want to draft a game manager. And that's what I'm seeing right now from Tua. He hasn't shown that he can be necessarily clutch. We've seen him really struggle. They have to bring in Fitzpatrick. No other team is having to do that in the league. And, you can say it's this innovative type thing, but you need your starting quarterback, your franchise quarterback to be clutch, to have that clutch gene in him. And right now I don't see that from Tua. He's throwing for 94 yards and that's, a common thing. He's not throwing for 300, 400 yards a game. And I'm not saying he has to, but they're winning games, obviously. But in the future, it'll be interesting to see, is Tua going to be able to be a really, really successful quarterback and considered, a top 10 quarterback? I don't know. But right now, for me, your picks top 5 in the draft, your super high expectations, and you're kind of just game managing and, kind of just, the rest of the team's kind of doing the work. I mean, to me, Tua has not done enough for me to say that he is not, that he has lived up to his expectations. To me, he's been disappointing for where he was picked. He's still been great. He's still done a good job winning games for the Dolphins, but just because he was picked number 5 overall, I've got to say that he's been a little underwhelming.
I mean, yeah, of course he's been underwhelming, but just looking at the numbers, 94 yards, as you said, that's something you don't want to see. And then you look at Ryan Fitzpatrick, 182. He came in late in that game, and of course there's no true way to tell unless you're part of the team or part of the coaching staff. Is this a part of the plan? Do they want Tua to play most of the game, then bring Ryan Fitzpatrick in, come in clutch, maybe just bring more attention to the team and just finish out some games, just be more exciting? And maybe that's for part of their game plan. But there's no true way to know that until Ryan Fitzpatrick is gone. And that's going to be something we're going to see in the next few years is once he's gone, is Tua going to be able to replenish and fill in for Ryan Fitzpatrick leadership and clutch factor? Tua doesn't have that yet. He's putting all the stats like conservative guys. You said a game manager, but that clutch factor, it isn't there yet. I feel he's going to develop that, of course, I think. But you saw what he was doing at Alabama before the injury. Clutch. He was throwing the ball all over. You spread the ball around, win games easily, throwing the ball for few hundred passing yards, 300 plus easily. But now he's not even throwing for 100. So that kind of leaves me to question, is this more of a game plan type of thing? Because in college, that's kind of what we're looking like. This kid's going to be a strong passer. You're going to be putting up a lot of yards, and he hasn't been doing that. So that kind of leads me to believe that this is more of a game plan thing. They're letting Ryan Fitzpatrick do that, while Tua just sits back, learns, watches, and develops from a quarterback who's been with it all. He's seen it all, and he's even starting to do it all. So Tua, I think he's going to develop. He's not there yet, and as you said, right now he isn't living up to that 5th overall pick. But I think you're looking down the line into the future when he gets a few more weapons, learns a little bit more. I think he has a potential to be a really good quarterback in this league. He's not there yet, but I do think he does have the potential to get there one day.
Well, we will see what happens with Tua and the Dolphins. Obviously, not clinched yet, but it's looking good. They play the Buffalo Bills this weekend.
Looking good.
Moving on to a very interesting game, the Cleveland Browns and the New York Jets. Obviously, the Browns were without really all of their top 4 receivers. So really tough game for them. They couldn't get the running game going. Baker Mayfield fumbled a few times. It's kind of a mess for the Browns. And the Jets, on the flip side, Darnold looked good. Jameson Crowder, really good game from him. He's been kind of week to week. Frank Gore, what might have been his last game, played all right. So, Mac, I'm going to start with this. We really don't have to cover the contents yet on this one, but how worried are you about the Cleveland Browns and their chances to make the playoffs?
Really, I'm not that worried about it. You've seen the season; they've been a consistent team, and they've really won through the run game. Of course, that was diminished this week, but that's obvious. You have 4 receivers out, 2 starters. I mean, you're really depleted at the receiver position. So, of course, any team, I think, no matter who it is or anything like that, no matter how good they are, if you're game planning for the one thing that they're going to be trying to do this entire game, and that's run the ball, and you're able to stop it. I mean, I don't think this is a problem for the Browns. I think as long you had 4 receivers out, your tight ends, you knew that was going to be they're going to get involved a lot. But in order to get tight ends involved, it's a lot of play action, a lot of bootleg stuff, and you got to get the run game going to do that. So team's going to scheme and plan for the run game, and you stop. And I think any team would have stopped that with 4 receivers out. So I'm not worried about this. I think they're going to make the playoffs, and I think they may do some damage in the playoffs, maybe make it to the divisional rounds. We'll see about that, but I'm not too worried about the Browns. But those poor Jets, and you as a Jets fan, I mean, there goes your number 1 pick officially. I mean, now Justin Fields, as we said past episode, he's not looking like he's really deserving of that number 2 pick right now. He's obviously going to be looking to rejuvenate himself back into that number 2 spot, but during the playoffs, we're going to see how that goes on your New Year's days, everyone. Hopefully you enjoy it. But Jets, it does stink for you. But Sam Darnold, he is looking a little bit better as time goes on. I think once he gets his weapons, as I said, weapons on offensive line, he's going to be good. I don't know if he's going to be a quarterback that'll take him to a Super Bowl good, but he's going to be a quarterback that could bring him to the playoffs and could fit in with the team as a complimentary guy. And then down the line, after they build the team around Sam Darnold, I think they could look for maybe a quarterback that could put them over the edge to make a Super Bowl run. But for the Browns, not worried. I think they're going to be good, and they're going to end up making the playoffs. That was just lack of receivers. You knew what they were going to game plan against, so not too worried about that.
As a Jets fan, and then as someone who wants to see the Browns do well now, this was probably the worst possible outcome I could have imagined. The Jets lose the number 1 overall pick. They lose the rights to Trevor Lawrence. They've now won 2 in a row, and all for nothing, basically. They're going to end up with the 2nd pick. God knows what they're going to do. Are they going to draft Zach Wilson? Are they going to draft Justin Fields? Are they going to draft, the tackle of Oregon, P9 Sewell? I know that's probably not how you pronounce it, but God knows what this team's going to do. I want them to trade the pick. I don't think there's the correct selection for them to make. Keep Darnold, stay in the top 6 or 7, and just let someone who needs a QB trade up. But God, this was a very bad game for the Browns. You got to get the run game going, and they're just missing a lot of guys right now. The offensive line's depleted. Wyatt Teller and Jedrick Wills were not available for this game. They were both out, and that's huge. I mean, those 2 guys are 2 of the main features there, and their O-line's weak. They had Chris Hubbard already injured, so he wasn't going to play. I mean, the offensive line, I believe Wyatt Teller is going to return this week. I don't know about Jedrick Wills, but they need those guys. They've had COVID issues this week still. I mean, BJ Goodson, Harrison Bryant, two guys that are going to be out this week. So Browns I'm a little worried. I'm not going to lie, because who knows what's going to happen with the COVID stuff. You never want to have an outbreak with their team. Obviously, who knows if they'll even play. I mean, it's looking like they will, but I mean, if they start getting some key guys out, they could really, really be in trouble. So good thing that Ben Roethlisberger's not playing and it's Mason Rudolph. That'll be a really interesting storyline. We'll get to that in a bit. But goodness gracious, they love making it difficult. I mean, if they miss the playoffs because of COVID stuff, I mean, you got to feel bad for that Cleveland fan base, man. That's all I got to say on that. But on the other side, the Steelers bounced back this week. And now the Colts are outside of the playoffs. If they lose to Jacksonville, they are eliminated from the playoffs. That'd be pretty interesting. But the Corvette, they hit it in the locker room. They're AFC champs. Big Ben, big bounce back week, 34 for 49, 341 yards and 3 touchdowns. James Conner, just, whatever. He's been mediocre. Benny Snell, 6 carries, 0 yards. But big week from Juju. Big week from Deontay Johnson. Chase Claypool did solid. Ebron, 5 catches, 40 yards and a touchdown. Mac, what were your thoughts on this game? And does it restore any confidence for you in the Pittsburgh Steelers?
I'm going to start off. It does not restore confidence for me. You're going against a team I know you and I both haven't liked. An inconsistent team to us. I know they've picked things up the past few weeks, but for most of the season, inconsistent. And this is another game where I think they should have won. But they ended up losing. The Steelers took it over after losing 3 straight to all mediocre teams. And they come here and they win. Of course, Big Ben put on a show, played great. 49 attempts, 34 completions, 341 yards, 3 touchdowns. Great showing by him, but this is not something that's going to continue in the playoffs. You got Juju Smith-Schuster corvetting his way to the end zone one time, but that's not going to happen. You're not going to have him, Johnson, Eric Ebron all scoring touchdowns. I mean, this is an offense where it's one guy goes off, and that's normally it. In this game, it kind of seemed like multiple guys found their way, and that's just not how the Steelers have been playing. This seems to be just like a one-time thing, and they're not going to make it far in the playoffs. I'm not believing in them at all. You said James Conner, 5 for 21, not that good. And then Benny Snell, even better, 6 for nothing. But this team, they're going to struggle a lot, especially when you're in the playoffs versus teams that could stop the run. You're already getting shut out, so that's going to become non-existent. And they're going to be going against teams that could even take away that one player in the receiving game from going off. I think the Steelers are going to struggle a lot. But for the Colts, they needed to win that game. Now it's looking like they may not even have a shot to be in the playoffs after losing this game. It could be Philip Rivers' last game in the NFL. It's crazy to hear that. Man's been doing it for a while. I think he deserves that playoff shot. But Philip Rivers, he played all right. He has to pick things up, especially this last week, trying to get in the playoffs. Jonathan Taylor starting to come back a little bit, 2 touchdowns this game. But overall, I'm not too worried about the Colts. I think they'll make the playoffs. They'll find a way to get in. But the Steelers, I do think, even after this win, you have a lot to worry about. You're not going to have wide receivers going off like that in the playoffs, and they're going to have a lot. They're going to have a lot of struggles. Excuse me.
I think this game was more the Colts being frauds than the Steelers restoring confidence, I should say. You look at the first half, Colts obviously outscored the Steelers 21-7. They looked really good. Second half, they scored 3 points. I think the Colts are just not a very good football team. I've said that all year. We've said that all year. And I think they kind of got exposed in the second half. The offense hit a standstill. Philip Rivers, played all right, but in the second half didn't look good at all by any means. The receivers there are just not, there's nothing special. I mean, you got Zach Pascal, T.Y. Hilton, and Michael Pittman. T.Y. Hilton's past his prime. Zach Pascal, is a solid guy. Pittman, average rookie receiver, I would say. It's just, to me, this offense outside of potentially Jonathan Taylor, I think he could be something special, but there's nothing special on this offense. And I think that teams are honestly can stop this offense. It's nothing special. And the defense, on the other hand, has been what's carried this team so far. And I don't even understand how, because to me, the big names aren't necessarily there. I mean, they have the Darius Leonards, the DeForest Buckners, but the defense, they got cooked in the second half, to put it nicely. They gave up 3 touchdowns. Big Ben started getting in there. He started throwing for a lot of yards, and you can't let that happen. You can't let Big Ben start chucking the ball down the field and getting confident and doing that kind of thing. So to me, this was, I'm not necessarily confident in the Steelers, because you look at the first half for them, and they looked like the same team with no motivation. But maybe this game restores some confidence in them, gives them some motivation. But for the Colts, I mean, this is not the way you want to come out of a game when you're in a must-win situation. Jacksonville now is going to play their hearts out. I mean, that team clinched the 1 spot. They have no reason to not go in and try and ruin the Colts. So I'm really interested to see this Colts team. I feel like the Colts could be in a position where they really could struggle, and I think it's going to depend on Mr. Philip Rivers, and he's going to have to show up in order for this team to be in the playoffs.
Yep, Philip Rivers is going to have to do all it takes to make the playoffs, especially versus that Jaguars team. I honestly forgot about that they did clinch that number 1 spot I said earlier, but I forgot. Even if they win, that doesn't matter. So they're playing their hearts out. They're going to have fun. Go let their players have fun. Enjoy your last game of the season. That's actually going to be a very tough one for the Colts. I mean, maybe we'll even pick against them. Maybe. We'll have to see.
We will see indeed. And the last game we'll touch on from Week 16 is going to be your Dallas Cowboys. They took the Eagles for a quick routing. I mean, first quarter, I was a little worried after that Deshaun Jackson bomb of a touchdown that Jalen Hurts threw. But after that touchdown, the Dallas Cowboys outscored the Eagles. It looks like 34-3. That is ugly, to say the least. Mac, I mean, the scenarios, you've seen it all over. Cowboys must win out. Football team must lose out. Giants must lose 2 of 3. We've now seen football team lose 2. The Giants lose 2, and the Cowboys win 2. So going in the final week, the Cowboys might be in the playoffs. Mac, I'm going to obviously flip this one to you. What are your thoughts on the current state of the Dallas Cowboys?
I mean, this team, I saw this on ESPN earlier. They're not rejuvenated. They're just juvenated. They weren't juvenated earlier, so they're just juvenated now. This is the first time in the whole season. So the Dallas Cowboys looking a lot better. This is a performance you're not going to see again. I mean, Andy Dalton for 377. Zeke was 105. I mean, what the heck is going on here? Like, Andy Dalton doesn't even get over 250. Zeke doesn't even get over 50. So, I mean, was a great showing by the Dallas Cowboys in a key game. This is normally the time where the Dallas Cowboys, they normally crumble, fall apart, give us fans no hope for the future. But somehow, Mike McCarthy, he figured out what to do after that first quarter. I mean, I was over, pooping myself, to say the least. I was nervous. I was scared. I wanted to win this game. Jalen Hurts was running that ball pretty dang well, and he was passing the ball pretty dang well. But the Cowboys, what you've seen the past few weeks, they fight back with their hearts out. And even after the game's over, you're seeing what they're saying. They're just playing with their energy. They're having fun. They're enjoying themselves. And that's what I like about this team and what I like about the Miami Dolphins. Right now, they're both playing with their hearts out. They're enjoying themselves and they're having fun. And that's what some of these teams need. And that's how some teams make it really far in the playoffs. Not saying the Cowboys are going to do that, but I'm saying that's the energy you'd like to see. Overall, this is a great game. Andy Dalton came out fired up. Michael Gallup got involved right away. Amari Cooper came along, then CeeDee came along as well. But CeeDee, not only in the pass game, in the run game, you saw I got that nice rushing touchdown as well. The defense, they came out, they played for some turnovers, something they were lacking all season, but they lead the league with, I believe it is 10 over the past 3 weeks right now. And I think they were 31st or last before that point. So Cowboys changing things up. Eagles out of the playoffs, not much to say about them, but we're praying that they do win versus the football team this Sunday night.
The Dallas Cowboys have been a very interesting team these past few weeks. The offense is gotten it going. They're using every weapon they have, and I think that's the key. Before, when they were struggling, honestly, they were kind of just looking at Amari Cooper. I felt like CeeDee Lamb and Michael Gallup were kind of non-factors. And once you started using them, it's like, oh, wow, the best players on the offense doing well. Who knew that would translate? But like we've said, Michael Gallup, huge game, 6 catches, 121 yards, 2 touchdowns. CeeDee Lamb, 3 catches, 65 yards, a touchdown. Like Max said, he had the rushing touchdown. And then Amari, 4 catches, 121 yards as well. I mean, that's all you need right there from those 3 guys. Just spread the ball to those guys. Zeke got his running game going, if you can get that going with Tony Pollard, I mean, he had a slow game, but if you can get those two going with the receiving game, this offense is almost unstoppable. I could say. Obviously, it's not Dak or the stud O line. The Cowboys have one injured reserve right now, but there's some solid players, and I don't. Mac knows the O line situation better than I do, but it's banged up still, and
Yep.
we'll see what happens there. But special teams, they're
Oh,
doing good.
also, just quickly mention the Cowboys also, in case they make the playoffs, they Zach Martin has a chance to return. Not this week, but in 2 or 3 weeks, there's a chance if the Cowboys do some in the playoffs, they could get that key part of their offensive line back. Just want to quickly say that. Now I'll give it back to you.
Yeah, so I mean that's kind of what I was thinking. If they get Zach Martin back, who knows what this team is capable of. I'm not saying they're going to go in the playoffs and win here. I consider that
Yeah.
highly unlikely. But I mean, Dallas this week against the Giants is going to be a hell of a game, and then obviously Sunday night is going to be fascinating to see the football team go against the Philadelphia Eagles, and both those teams or the Dallas Cowboys don't have the tiebreaker, so. But the New York Giants do. So I don't
Yep.
know what I'm trying to say here, but I'm not sure what I was going for there. But
Yeah,
everyone knows the situation. Whoever
figuring out.
wins, Dallas Giants, if the football team loses, they will be the division champs. So we will see what happens there. But that will take us to our Week 17 predictions. Honestly, a lot of these games are kind of meaningless. So unless they really have playoff implications, I don't think we're going to touch on them too much. But we will start at Ford Field in Detroit, Minnesota, Detroit. My dog is barking, so I apologize if you can hear her. But I'm going to take the Minnesota Vikings here. Obviously, prayers and condolences to Dalvin Cook, who just lost his father. Hope everything, not good words there, but hope, his dad is in our thoughts and prayers. But for me, the Lions, no Stafford. This game's meaningless, but I feel like the Vikings will just be able to be triumphant over the Lions. Kind of both teams probably want to lose here for draft pick status, but I'm going to go Vikings just because I think they're the more talented team.
Yep, I agree with you there. I gotta say it too. Specs, prayers for Dalvin Cook and his family for their father died at a very young age. I believe it was 45 or 46. So very, very, very young, and he will be missing the final game of the season for that. So prayers for him and his family. But I'm gonna have to take the Minnesota Vikings here as well with you. Vikings are just overall right now better team. I mean, you got Justin Jefferson, Adam Thielen. I mean, Alexander Madison's be playing this week. He's a great backup running back. So this Vikings team, they've improved a lot late in the season. The Lions are going to have to play keep up with them, I think, in this offense. But Vikings, I think, are going to win this one fairly easily.
Yeah, I agree with you there. Falcons, Bucks. Bucks obviously clinched the playoffs. I don't know. I think their seating isn't locked in, so they're playing for something.
Yep.
I'm going to start with you here. What do you think about your favorite NFL team, Tampa Bay Bucks, in their finale here?
You know what I'm doing. I mean, this is a team the Cowboys might have to make the playoffs. Any NFC East team right now is looking like they're playing them unless they lose this game. And actually, I wasn't even thinking about this before. I wasn't like, oh, I hate the Buccaneers, but this is just a genuine thought. I think that this is an upset. I think this is an upset. Throw away, put my Tampa Bay Buccaneers hate to the side. I think this is actually has really good potential to be an upset. The Falcons, I mean, you never want someone in your division to make the playoffs. So no matter who it is, the Falcons are playing. No matter for the pick or what it is, they don't care about that. That's all to the side. They're trying to hurt their division rival and their seeding in the playoffs. So they're going to be playing their hearts out. Calvin Ridley has been playing great still, as always. He's been playing great this year. So they're going to look to get him involved. I think the receivers are going to have to do it for the Falcons to win this game. And I think, I mean, A.J. Terrell, if you could stop one of those receivers for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, that's a huge help to stopping the Buccaneers. And I think that AJ Terrell is going to have a big, big game. The rookie, this is what you want in clutch moments. This is when they want to show up. You want to see your rookie show up and show their potential. But Falcons overall, I think they're going to find a way to shut down Tom Brady or slow him down at least. Falcons, their pass game is going to be on point. So, you know what? Give me the Atlanta Falcons for this one.
Yeah, I'm going to completely disagree.
Hey.
Tampa Bay is going to win this one pretty easily. Going back to the Buccaneers Falcons game 2 weeks ago now, Falcons came out strong. It looked like they were going to win the game, but then something clicked for Tampa Bay. The offense kind of went berserk. Now, when you fast forward another week, you're going to Detroit. The offense goes crazy in the first half. Tom Brady throws for, I believe, like 348 yards or something in the first half, bunch of touchdowns. He's using all his weapons. Mike Evans had a huge game. Chris Godwin's getting touchdowns. Antonio Brown's playing good now. Rob Gronkowski's getting touchdowns. To me, this offense has finally hit its stride. It's finally reached that level just in time of that place where it looks like it is going to be extremely hard to stop this team. So I'm going to pick the Tampa Bay Buccaneers here. They're at home. I think the Falcons had their upset chance at home that one game when they were leading big, but the Bucs, it looked like they figured it out, and I'm sure they'll be able to continue that success this week in Tampa Bay, as some people like to call it. But I'm going to go a little bit.
So you can't just agree with me and hate the Buccaneers for 1 week.
I'm not going to go against. I kind of, dude. I like the Bucs low key. I mean, I hate Brady, but like, it's something about the team. I like the style. They're kind of underdogs.
You don't enjoy that side. I'll be over here enjoying it when they lose. I'll be over here.
Jets, Patriots. In all honesty here, I'm gonna take the New York Jets here. They're playing good football. Boy. I hate to say it. The last 2 weeks they've shown up and they've won good games. The defense has gotten going. It looks like the defense has finally hit its stride. They're getting pressure. They're stopping the run game, and as long as they stop the run game against New England here, they're going to be in a great position. That's really all this offense is. It's kind of one-dimensional with the run. Obviously, Cam Newton and then all the running backs are involved. But in terms of the passing game, it's nothing special. So for me, the New York Jets, if they can continue what they did last week, I feel like Belichick probably wants to lose to get a better draft pick at this point due to the kind of disaster that the Patriots have been this year. But yeah, I'm going to go Jets here. Honestly, their seating's locked in, so it doesn't affect this. They're the number 2 pick regardless. So give me the Jets, y'all. A nice week to cheer for them, I guess.
Yep, let's get them their 3rd straight. I'm agreeing with you on the Jets. I mean, I don't like what the Patriots have been doing. Of course, Belichick, you know him. He's trying to find his quarterback in the future, which I think is necessary. So the better pick only helps him. So I think he may be somewhere in his heart hoping that they lose this game. So Jets, as you said, locked in that number 2 spot. They've been playing really well the past few weeks. So I'm going to take the Jets here and agree with you on that one.
Yeah, Jets have definitely stepped it up recently, unfortunately. But at this point, the seeding is gone, so it doesn't matter. Dolphins, Bills. This is a fantastic game here. 2 playoff teams likely here, but the Dolphins do still have to win to be in the playoffs. So I'm gonna go here. I'm gonna say that the Buffalo Bills win this one. In all honesty, I think the Bills are the better team. They're still fighting, I believe, for the 2 seed to lock that puppy up. So in Buffalo, they can have home playoff fans now, which is cool. 6,700 people. Governor Cuomo approved that, so that'll be pretty cool. There will be fans in New York for football this year, which is pretty cool. But Buffalo Bills, to me, are just the better team. They beat the Dolphins earlier this year. Obviously, the Dolphins are a pretty different team now, but I'm going to take Buffalo here. And the Dolphins are going to have to pray for a Browns loss, a Colts loss, something like that. But I'm going to go Bills here.
Yep, I agree with you there. Give me the Buffalo Bills. You can't stop Josh Allen. You can't stop Stephon Diggs. That's all you need right there. The Bills are great. Stephon Diggs, though, he may have some trouble going against one of the best defensive players in the game in Xavier Howard, like I said before. But Dolphins are going to put up a good fight. It's going to be a very good game. And, I mean, is this another game where you see Fitzpatrick come in at the end of the game trying to make a clutch comeback?
I don't think so because he is COVID.
Oh, my God. I'm so stupid.
I'm not sure he will be stepping
I don't know. I forgot about that. But, yeah, so either way, we're going to see some Tua Jeans maybe come in. I can't believe I messed that up and forgot about that. We just spent so long talking about that. But yeah, Buffalo Bills, either way, I think they're still going to win this game. Stephon Diggs going to have trouble. Offensively, they're going to do their thing. Dolphins going to do their thing. Keep it close. Dolphins are just going to use their effort, having fun to keep this game close, as I always like to say. Bills, a better team, better defense, better offense. Give me the Bills.
Hopefully the Dolphins get in. It'd be a shame if they didn't, and I just had my Van Ginkel jersey. That'd be
Let's
not
save it for
great.
next year.
Yeah. This game is the one that I'm most interested in. Steelers, Browns, Jarvis Landry off the COVID IR reserve list. That's huge for the Browns here. I'm going to go first. I'm going to take the Cleveland Browns. From what I've heard from the coaching staff, Baker Mayfield is locked in. I think he's really, really angry, really pissed about last week, his performance. And I don't think he's going to be able to tolerate losing and missing the playoffs this year. The team has been so good. They've played so well. They've exceeded everyone's expectations. This team is deserving of a playoff spot, and I think they're going to get one. I think they're going to beat the Steelers. Mason Rudolph starting here. So if the Steelers have to look on the ground game, that could be a problem. James Conner, nothing special. But I think that offense is going to be a little lackluster for Pittsburgh. The defense, the Browns, I feel like the offense is completely different than when they played Pittsburgh the first time. Obviously, Odell Beckham was still healthy then, I believe. And we've seen that offense since then. It's really taken off. So I'm going to go to Cleveland Browns here against the Pittsburgh Steelers.
Yep, I'm going to take the Browns. As a Steelers hater as well, I got to say that. So Browns winning this one. Steelers, no Big Ben. I mean, not like he would do anything or that much anyways this game, but the run game, non-existent. Pass game this week's definitely going to be non-existent. It's just going to be the Steelers trying to beat the Steelers defense trying to beat the entire Cleveland Browns team. I mean, that's what, if the Steelers want to win, that's what they're going to have to do. It's just going to be their defense, and I don't think they're going to be able to stop the Browns offense. The run game is going to be rejuvenated. You said Jarvis Landry is back, and I think that's a key part of why they lost last week. Didn't have a star receiver, didn't have any receiver, and this week they're going to be having some of those guys back, so that's going to help a lot. Browns should easily be able to win this one, even by a 10-point margin, to say the least.
Yeah, it seems like the Browns should be able to win this one with the starters out for the Steelers. So we'll see what happens there. Now, this game, we'll just turn this one straight to you, Mac. Why don't you kick us off with this?
Dallas Cowboys at the New York Football Giants. Game on the line. Each team trying to make the playoffs and win the NFC least. Dallas Cowboys, they're coming in here red hot with Andy Dalton's red hair, and they're going to come in here trying to rifle their way to a victory. Ezekiel Elliott is going to get shut out like he has most of the season, but you saw what those boys on the outside did last week. Lamar, CeeDee, Gallup, all went off, and they're going to do that once again, but that's not going to be the reason they win this game. The Giants have Danny Dimes at quarterback, and you know what that means. Fumble. And the Cowboys, they've been forcing a lot of fumbles past few weeks. So Cowboys, they're going to force a few fumbles on Daniel Jones, take that ball up, score a lot of points. And we could see something similar last week, a similar score. Maybe like 34-17, 34-14 kind of game. That's what I'm thinking. Give me the Dallas Cowboys.
I'm going to go Cowboys here too, honestly. The Giants have been playing atrocious these past few weeks. Their offense is dead. Their defense is meh. The team is just, it's a joke, the G-men right now, to be honest. I mean, it's kind of crazy that, there's
so good for so little time. But
6-10 team could be in the playoffs. That is crazy to me that if the G-men make the playoffs, it's going to be a 6-10 team. But I just think the Dallas Cowboys here are the better team. They're red hot. The G-men are dead right now. It wouldn't surprise me if the G-men loses by a lot of points. Obviously, Dallas won the first game. It was close, but we'll see what happens. The Dallas Cowboys look a lot better than they did, weirdly enough, that week where Dak Prescott got injured. It's weird. They look better, probably because the defense is playing better. The defense was in shambles that week, but the defense has stepped it up to say the least. So I think they'll be less challenged this week with Danny Dimes than they were with Jalen Hurts. So I think that'll translate to another victory. And I know what Mac's thinking, but who knows what I will pick. Stay tuned. The football team and the Eagles. Last game we'll be predicting. Ravens-Bengals. The Ravens will be clinching a playoff spot for me. This team at one point looked like they would miss the playoffs. They've really stepped it up, and they will be in the playoffs for me, 10-5, or they will get to 11-5. And we'll see what happens. Can Lamar win in the playoffs? That'll be interesting to see, but give me the Ravens here.
Yeah, give me the Ravens as well. I don't know why I'm feeling like the Bengals may put up a little bit of a fight here.
As I said that, I was like, maybe this team goes wild. I don't know.
I know.
I'm
I don't know
sticking
why. I
Ravens.
just have like that weird feeling in me that this game could be a lot closer than people think. But the Ravens, better team right now. They've been red hot past 2 weeks. Lamar kind of starting to look like him, his 2019 self in MVP form. But the Ravens a lot better overall right now, just improving on defense and offense. The run game is really, really going well for them. J.K. Dobbins, our Ohio State boy, has been playing great. I mean, what has it been? 5 straight games with a touchdown, a rushing touchdown, or something like that. But yeah, either way, he's been playing great. The Ravens have been playing great. But the Bengals, as I said, I think they're going to put up a little bit of a fight. Brandon Allen, we're going to see what he can do. Maybe he can make sure those Ravens don't get in the playoffs, but we'll have to see how that goes and turns out.
Yeah, it should be interesting. Maybe the Bengals can upset, but I'm not going to lean towards
What
that.
A week would that be? What a week.
It would be. Jaguars, Colts. This is a weird one for me.
I know.
Week 1, the Jags actually beat the Colts by, what was the score? Let's see. 27-20. Oh, boy. This, it's weird. Part of me here says that this could be a Jaguars win, but with no James Robinson, I have to take the Colts here. I don't think the Colts are going to lose this game when they have to win if they're going to get in the playoffs. If they lose, the Dolphins, Ravens, and Browns all clinch. To me, the Colts will come out here, win a game, maybe make the playoffs. I guess that would shove the Dolphins out, and the Dolphins would miss by that scenario here for me. So I'm going to go Colts get a W, and the Jags are going to not be able to win this one. I don't know what I'm saying, but yeah, Colts win here.
So this isn't gonna make any sense, but I'm gonna go Jaguars, but the Colts are probably gonna win this one. Let's have fun. Last week of the regular season, but the main thing I want to point out is you're looking at the Colts and Philip Rivers. Why would you come out and say that this could be your last game? Like, you're not confident you're gonna beat the Jags? You're not confident you're going to beat the Jags? Come on now. You should be saying that. You're probably beating the Jags. But for that reason, because he said that, I have to choose the Jags. I have to choose the Jags. Are going to ruin the Colts in the playoff shots. Let's have some fun here. Give me the Jaguars and Mike Glennon. Mike Glennon. Can't forget. You know what? Oh, yeah. If the Jaguars win, I'm getting the Mike Glennon jersey.
Okay. Back on the line again. That should be interesting. But yeah, I mean, if the Dolphins miss the playoffs, man, I'm screwed. So Miami, you got to make the playoffs. I got to be able to wear that Van Ginkel jersey. God help me if they miss. Titans, Texans, irrelevant game, but I'm going to take the Titans. Oh, no, it's actually not irrelevant. If the Titans lose and the Colts and Browns both win, I believe the Titans miss the playoffs. So a lot has to happen. But I'm going to say the Titans win anyway. To me, the Texans are all over the place. You got J.J. Watt saying basically that the team has no heart. They don't give a damn. And that's a problem when probably your biggest leader, maybe Deshaun, but J.J.'s been there so long. I think J.J. would take the cake for me. He wants out, clearly. I hope he gets a chance to leave this offseason. It just doesn't seem like, the fit's there anymore. Tennessee, they got an ass whooped. They got their asses whooped on Sunday Night Football, to say the least. But that'll change. They'll bounce back this week. It seems like, they're kind of a fraudulent team, to be honest. I feel like people who say this team's like top 6, top 5 in the league, that's not incorrect to me. I feel like this team very well could be on their way to a first-round exit here. So give me the Tennessee Titans, but not confident going in the playoffs about them for me.
Yeah, I mean, I love these Tennessee Titans, Derrick Henry. I've always been high on them, and I think they're going to pull out the win here versus the Texans. I mean, you spoke about the J.J. Watt thing, and that's the opposite of the things I've liked. What I've said about the Cowboys and Dolphins is they're playing with their heart, they're having fun. And J.J. Watt, he came out and said they're not having fun, they're not playing with their heart, and that's
and that's what he didn't like. So this is the exact opposite of what I look for in a team that is good. So I mean, they're out of the playoffs, obviously, so it doesn't matter. But just to put that into perspective of what kind of team they are right now and the direction they're headed in the future, it's not looking good. Tennessee Titans are going to win this one. Derrick Henry trying to get, what is that, like 230 something rushing yards to get to the 2,000 yard mark.
It's gonna be hard.
Unlikely, but I bet he's still gonna be trying to make that happen. But it's Derrick Henry, so you never know. As you said, Titans. You think they could even be a first round exit? This is a team I think I've loved them for most of the season. I think they're gonna be boom or bust. They're either going to the Super Bowl or they're leaving right away, and we're gonna have to see what happens. Right now, it's looking like they're gonna be leaving right away, sadly. But that's the type of team they are. You're not really sure about them, but they're gonna get a win here and are going to be playing in the playoffs.
Yeah, I mean, Texans, if they finish 4-12, they're not going to have that first round pick. So the Miami Dolphins on the top five pick. It's crazy to think.
And then you're going to be able to get to a weapon potentially at that spot, too.
Maybe Jamar Chase, dude. Jamar Chase.
Devonta Smith, either of those guys.
Devonta Smith, any of those guys help out. Cardinals-Rams is another really good game.
Very interesting.
Yeah, this one's really good. You got John Wolford making the start for the Rams. Kyler's playing. I mean, this is going to be a wild game. I can already tell this is going to be crazy. Mac, what do you think is going to happen with this one? I believe it's a win and you're in situation for both these teams here. I believe that's the case here. So what are you thinking here?
This is a very interesting game. You're looking at a game where just the other day, both teams they were expecting to not have their quarterbacks, and this was going to be like these two teams were really fighting for a playoff spot with backups. I mean, but right now it's looking like the Rams, they're going to be the ones fighting with a backup in, and this team, they have their receivers, and that's kind of what they've been doing on offense when they've been successful. Those are the games where Jared Goff threw for 350 plus, and I'm not sure if they're going to be able to do that. They're going to really struggle. And it's going to be a game where I think you have to rely on your veterans. You're going to have to rely on your two best players, Jalen Ramsey, Aaron Donald. They're going to have to make plays. Jalen Ramsey has to stop DeAndre Hopkins. He cannot get going this game if you want to win. The Rams, Aaron Donald, he has to get pressure on Kyler Murray, make him uncomfortable in the pocket, make him to get outside. I know that's where he is good, but you have to get in his face, and a few of those pressures are going to turn into sacks, and that's going to diminish the confidence of Kyler Murray. Rams are going to struggle. I'm going to give this one to the Cardinals, but that is what they have to do if they want to win. The Cardinals, they're going to be making the playoffs. Good for them. Rome, I know you're happy, even though you converted from a Cowboys fan to a Cardinals fan mid-season. You're lucky, but you're going to be in the playoffs. Enjoy it.
Yeah, both these teams are first-round exits with ease to me. Not going to matter who they play. Rams, I mean, they look good, and then that Jets game hit, and it's been downhill from there. John Wolford's confident. I'm not too confident. I believe Cooper Kupp is also on the COVID list still. Michael Brocker's on the COVID list. I mean, that's just it's adding up to be too much for them to handle. So I'm going to go Cardinals here. Yeah, I'm cheering for the Rams, to be honest. I'm not a huge Cardinals guy, and I'd love to see John Wolford get the W. But I'm gonna go Cardinals here. I just feel like they're a fraudulent team. They'll be a first round exit, but I just am worried with the Rams' issues and their lack of they don't have Jared Goff. I don't think they have Cooper Kupp. Michael Brocker's not gonna be there. I mean, it's just too much for them to recover from. So give me the Cardinals here, but I believe the Rams. Did the Rams? I believe they beat the Bears. So they beat the Bears. So if the Bears lose, the Rams are in no matter what. So
also for the seeding, this was the game where we were talking about with the Bucs and their seeding. If the Bucs lose and the Rams win, then that flips. So whoever wins the NFC East would be playing the Rams if that does work out. But
I mean, the Cowboys can legit beat the Rams, dude. That's a
possible.
Did they beat the Rams? No, they lost the Rams.
That was the close game.
That was a different team. I mean, look at this. Dak, Amari had 10 catches. Zeke had, Jesus, that was Malcolm Brown. Jeez, Cam Akers got a lot of rushes. All right, well, getting a little distracted there, but there you go. We're both taking the Cardinals there. Saints, Panthers, doesn't matter pretty much, but I'm going Saints here. This is pretty easy for me. No CMC, not even a Mike Davis here. So hopefully your boy Curtis does something, and Alvin too. But give me Saints here.
Yeah, give me the Saints as well. Alvin, I mean, you know what he did last week, the 6 touchdowns, a beast. They're gonna win this game. I mean, I don't think they're gonna get the number 1 seed. Do they get the number 1 seed if the Packers lose, or do the
I believe
Packers have
so.
that
And no,
solidified?
and then if the Seahawks win too,
Okay.
it's like weird. So the Seahawks have to win, the Packers have to lose, and the Saints have to win.
Okay. All right. So yeah, the Saints are playing hard. So Alvin Kamara, please have a big game for us. We would love that. But yeah, give me the Saints.
Packers, Bears. This game is a big game. Mitch Trubisky is playing for something. It's in Chicago. Aaron Rodgers, Bears' worst nightmare, ESPN says. You know what?
Bro, I know we're gonna
Chicago
agree.
Bears. I'm going to go with the Bears here. It's in Chicago. David Montgomery's heated up. Mitch Trubisky has played pretty well, and honestly, he's playing for a contract here. If he can get this team to the playoffs somehow, there's been rumors that they'll keep him next year as their starting quarterback. And for Mitch, I mean, maybe he makes a run in the playoffs. I mean, who knows? Mitch Trubisky knows the one thing, and that is if he can get to the playoffs, his contract situation looks like a lot better than it was. And the Bears, honestly, solid team. Allen Robinson could have a huge game. Their defense is what they need to do well. And in Chicago, you always feel like Aaron Rodgers is never having those huge games that he sometimes has at Lambeau. It's a different environment for him to handle. Similar weather, but just in terms of, Chicago. Obviously, I don't believe fans are there, so that makes a big difference. But I'm going to take the Bears here in a must-win game for them. I believe if they win, they're in. So we'll see what happens with the Bears here, but give me the Bears.
Yep, as a Cowboys fan, I'm obviously a Packers hater, so I want the Saints to get the number 1 seed, and I want them to lose every single game possible. So give me the Chicago Bears. I love what they got on defense. They're going to be getting all in Aaron Rodgers' face. That's going to make it tough on him. I think they have a chance to shut down the run, but you do have to stop Devontae Adams. And it seems like no team, no weather, nothing could stop that man right now. He's unstoppable. It's going to be very, very, very hard. But the Bears are going to fill in and play well on all of the other aspects of the game, and they're going to find a way to win this one. Packers, I know you guys are great, but I hate you, so I have to pick the Bears.
Not a fan. Chargers, Chiefs here. Obviously, no Pat Mahomes here. So for me, this is going to be a Chargers win. They're going to finish the season 7-9. I mean, Keenan Allen's not playing, but 6 Chiefs sit out to start the week. I mean, it looks like the Chiefs aren't going to be starting anyone. I don't know. Oh, Bosa's going to sit out. I mean, this could be a weird game. It looks like, let's read this article. The majority of their starters. Okay. Yeah. Give me the Chargers then. Just because, I mean, if the Chiefs probably then won't play Tyreek, they probably won't play Kelsey. All those guys will probably be on the bench. So give me the Chargers here in kind of a meaningless game. It is a meaningless game, but the Chargers get a nice W here to end the year.
I'll just, I'll have fun going against you. Chargers, they're not going to have Bosa. They're not going to have Keenan Allen. The Chiefs, the rest of their stars. But, I mean, this is still a game where the Chiefs, you obviously want to win. You want to sit at 15-1. And honestly, if you win this game with backups, and that just goes to show you how good your coaching staff is and the talent that you have in this team and how good you are. So, you know what? Let's have fun with it. Let's see how good the Chiefs really are after this game.
Yeah, we'll see for sure. But, I mean, with starters, who knows? But
Yep.
Seahawks and the 49ers, to me, this is going to be an easy Seattle win. They'll finish the season 12-4. It felt like this team has been up and down all year. Somehow they'll get to 12-4, though, which is interesting. But Niners, obviously, still starting, I believe, CJ Beathard at QB. It's just going to be I hope Kittle does well, but to me, Seattle should be able to win this game. I don't know what they're playing for. Could they get the 1 seed? I mean, maybe.
I don't think they could.
I don't know. Have they played the Packers?
Let's see. Let me look this up. NFL number 1 seed scenario. Let's see. There's got to be something. Seahawks hopes. Oh, so they could. So 2020 NFL playoff scenarios. So I'm assuming if the Saints Packers lose and they win, then they probably get that shot. But let's see let's go back. So the Packers have clinched. They were playing for the number 1 seed. The Saints have clinched, and they are. And so so the Packers, Saints, and Seahawks all have a shot at the number 1 seed. So if the other 2 teams lose, aside from whatever team you guys want the number 1 seed to be, root for that team. The other 2 teams have to lose. So Seahawks, they win. Packers, Saints lose, they're in, and it's kind of the same thing for both the other teams. So yep, the Seahawks are going to win this game, and this could be very interesting if somehow 2 of the teams lose.
Yeah, that'll be interesting to see what happens. But yeah, I agree with you. Seahawks there. Raiders Broncos. God cares about this game. I'm gonna go Raiders. They're just the better team. I truly believe. And the Broncos. See what happens in the offseason. Will they move on from Drew Lock? Will they not? You've heard they want to bring in a veteran quarterback there. Put a little pressure on Drew Lock, and I actually believe I brought that up a few episodes ago. Actually, just the idea of bringing competition in. Drew Lock needs to know that if he doesn't play well, he's going to get benched. So just to hear what I said a few weeks ago, be said by the team. Pretty good feeling, but I'm going to go with the Raiders here. Yeah.
Yep, I'm going to agree with you there. Raiders, better team overall. I mean, we were high on them at one point in the season. Derek Carr, I mean, they're not playing for much, but Josh Jacobs, Derek Carr, you still have Henry Ruggs. Hasn't been what you expect him to be, but he's always going to be a competent piece in that offense. But Broncos, on the other hand, just a lousy season. You lost Cortland Sutton, so your offense really hasn't been on par. You lost Von Miller. So, I mean, throwaway season by the Broncos. Raiders, they had a chance. They were playing really, really, really well. Kind of fell apart later in the season. Now not in the playoffs, not having a shot at the playoffs. But they're going to win this game, sit at 8-8 on the season, and hopefully look forward to the future of this team.
And the big game of the week, the football team and Alex Smith are marching to Philadelphia. Jalen Hurts and Jalen Mills and Miles Sanders added to the injury report. Who knows if they'll play? I'm going to start because I know, you'll want to do maybe a little breakdown. No, I'll let you start, actually, because we know who you're picking here. So.
All right. Yeah. So this was a game, I mean, right away, I was nervous about it. And it's not talent-wise or anything like that. It was, I mean, why would the Eagles win? Why would they try to win? Just get the better pick. And I was nervous about that part. So I'm like, okay, the football team's going to win this. We have no shot. But then my hope came. I don't remember who said it in the exact quotes, but the Eagles said that they will be playing to win this game because they are not allowing the football team to come to Philadelphia and be crowned the NFC East champs in their city, in their stadium. They're not accepting that. So they are playing their hearts out for this one. They're not tanking. They're not trying to get the pick. And that is my decision right there. My decision is entirely based on that. If they didn't come out and say that this was a football team win, but because it came out and said that, you know how Jalen Hurts was playing. Even last week in the loss, Jalen Hurts put up some good numbers. He's going to do that once again. Maybe not have the rushing yards, but of course, football team, front seven, beast. But he's going to put up some numbers in the pass game. Deshaun Jackson had his big catch last week. We can maybe even see another big catch this week. But the Eagles, overall, I think they're just a little bit better right now with Alex Smith out, not with him in, but so, and that's kind of a key part of my decision as well. No Alex Smith. So
isn't Alex Smith going to play?
I don't think so. I think it's going to be what's his face?
Taylor Heineke?
Yep.
Really? I thought Smith was playing.
I think it's their
Sits
hoping.
out.
Yep.
He's working with the first string offense, takes reps with first team. Like what we saw. Looks like he might be playing, Mr. Mackey. Right on the doorstep.
Hopefully not, but either way, I'm still
play. I think he's gonna play.
Either way, I'm still picking the Eagles. ESPN said they weren't thinking that he was going to play this morning, but obviously after the practice you guys saw, now it's looking more likely. But still, give me the Eagles. Jalen Hurts is playing really well. I mean, Eagles, please, I need you to clutch up. And I mean, they're not letting the football team win there, especially you got Philly fans. So if they somehow let the football team win this one, I mean, Philly's gonna go crazy, even if they're not in the playoffs. They're Philly fans. They have no mind, they have no brain. is crazy. So give me the Eagles.
All right, so I'll let you go on your little rant there, and you're not going to like what I'm going to have to say here.
Yeah, I don't need to like what you got to say. I just got to know the Eagles are going to win.
I'm going to pick the football team to win this game. Alex Smith is going to play. They're not going to start Taylor Heinicke. He's ready to go if he needs to come in, but there's no way they're not going to start Alex Smith in this game. That'd be foolish of them. They said he was 50-50 last week, so you got to think he's closer, or the percentage is in his favor of him playing. I think he's going to play. They're not going to risk it. Imagine they tie. If the Dallas Cowboys tie, and the
Cowboys.
Then
if the football team loses and the Cowboys tie, the Cowboys still get in.
Imagine they both tie.
Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh! Don't even get me thinking. Don't even get me
predict the tie. That'd be nuts. I'm gonna pick football team. I think they're just the better team. Philadelphia. The key is just stopping Jalen Hurts. If you can do that, you're gonna roll through them. That defense for the football team, obviously their strength. They get back Alex Smith, and that team is gonna be motivated to win. They're gonna have motivation. They've lost 2 in a row now. If they've won one of those games, they'd be division champs, but they didn't. So for me, it's going to be a football team victory. They're going to be celebrating in Philadelphia, and they are going to be the NFC East division champs.
So I had to quickly look this up, but he practiced today. It was with the first team, but he didn't practice much. Still, He was very limited, this says. According to RotoWire, very limited. So, good hopes for me and Cowboys fans across the nation, and those Giants fans who live in New York. So, yeah, you're getting the best of me and all the Giants fans. So,
well, I don't really got too much else to say, but yeah, what are you thinking? You want to wrap it up, or you got anything else you want to talk about?
I'm not sure, but I mean, maybe you want to. Oh, we already did. I was about to say the college football playoffs. That happens. Everyone's gonna have seen them by now, but we're gonna have some good matchups. Some good matchups. Excited. Hopefully, our Ohio State Buckeyes get a win. You saw and heard Justin Fields claims that was the most or the hardest preparation he's done all season. He hasn't prepared for a game like this ever. So, I mean, could that be a good sign? Is he trying to get back to looking like he is a for sure number 2 pick? We're going to have to see, but excited to see what he has and what some of these other guys have there in the college football playoffs.
Yep, for sure. Should be interesting to see. Obviously, this is planning to be coming out Saturday. So if you're listening on YouTube and you're still listening, make sure to comment, drop a like, subscribe, do all that jazz. Follow us on, everything. Obviously, Mac will promote that in a sec. But, yeah, make sure to follow us, Spotify, Apple. And if you're listening, hope you enjoyed the first weekly episode we're going to start going with on Spotify, Apple. If you have any suggestions, obviously, you can message us. Mac will give you our socials, like I said, quick sec. But yeah, that's kind of all I got. So why don't you wrap this up for us, man?
All right, everyone. Thank you so much for watching this week's episode of Outside the Arena. As always, it's a pleasure doing this for guys. We love this. We enjoy it. We're not even doing this for our futures. We're just not even just for our futures, I should say, but we're doing this for fun. We're enjoying it, having a great time putting these things out for you guys. And New Year's, it's now 2021 by the time you guys are seeing this. Big things are coming, not only for this podcast, but for the world. Hopefully COVID will be gone in just a few months. We're going to have to see, but everyone, hope you all stay safe. Make sure to like, comment, subscribe if you're on YouTube. If you're on Apple or Spotify, that's obviously Outside the Arena as well. Please make sure you guys follow us over there. Come back next week for our next episode. And also make sure to follow us on our social medias. That's the easiest place and best place to reach out to us. If you have any suggestions or just want to talk, my Instagram is mac.rommel. Griffin's Instagram is
Griffin Senek.
And our podcast Instagram is Outside the Arena Podcast. Please feel free to reach out to us there. We would love talking to you guys, especially expanding for this New Year's on this podcast. We're excited. Anything helps. And that one kid, I don't remember his name, but he reached out. We almost had a big guest coming on, and that's what we love to see. Even though we may not know you guys, we love all of your support and help that you guys are trying to do for us and help us out with. So with that, we'll wrap things up, and we'll see you guys next week on Outside the Arena.